Joe Hardy made a video called the Classic Plus Project. And this whole thing is a website, this massive survey dedicated to what Classic Plus is and asking the player base, asking everybody what their opinions, their thoughts, what exactly is Classic Plus. Now, he made a video accompanying this, so we're going to watch the video first, then we're going to take the whole survey. So we can go and see his thoughts, his plans, the goal and direction of the whole project. And I'm very, very curious to see exactly what this ends up being.
Started playing World of Warcraft, you'd race home from school, throw your backpack on your bed, get on the computer, sit down, and cinema. Now, regardless of when you started playing, we've all had that feeling of not knowing what's over that mountain, what challenge is next, what piece of gear may be.
And that's one of the biggest gripes with Classic WoW in general right now, is that everything is known. One of the mysteries of, like, when I was a young kid playing vanilla and TBC, I ran down to Unguro. Not because I knew Unguro was there, but because I didn't. I went there at level 17 or 18. I died well over 100 times. I made my way there, and seeing Teneris, seeing all these zones, seeing the infinite size of World of Warcraft, Vanilla WoW's world at the time, and actually falling in love with the universe, with the characters, with the people, with the NPCs, with just the mobs I saw. It was an experience. It was surreal. That is not the case anymore. I know everything, and so does everybody else in regards to Classic WoW. There is no mystery, there is no secrecy, there is no unknown factor. Every single person knows everything.
The next big upgrade that some random boss in a dungeon just so happened to drop. The mystery of what was out there kept you firmly locked in.
And yeah, Hamid, I'm checking it out right now.
Wondering what was next. And I think, or hope so at least, that Classic Plus can give us that feeling back.
Bro, I could talk about Classic Plus every day for the next 2 years. I could do it.
国服目前还没有任何关于 Plus 的这个讨论，所以说有没有现在还不清楚。
I love Classic, and I want the best version of Classic WoW to be available for the people that want to play it forever.
I want there to be a resource for Blizzard to be like, okay, look, maybe a ton of people want this or a ton of people don't.
Hey guys, I'm Jordy, and Classic Plus, as of this video,
And he doesn't show me at all. I get why he didn't, right? Like, I'm a Classic Plus channel, but I've only got 11k subs. I'm not huge. Not everybody knows me. But I've been covering Classic Plus for like well over, what, a year and a half, 2 years now? Maybe even close to 3 years. I love the idea and dream of it, but, you know, I'm not Zaryu sized or, you know, Armpy sized, so I get why he just showed the bigger creators.
video's release hasn't officially been announced yet, but thankfully, it does look like we're gonna get it. Blizzard has dropped hint after hint after hint that they're working on something big, with the community frothing at the mouth to figure out exactly what that is.
所以暴雪能不能智能起来？现在立刻马上把 Plus 2.0给我端上来！
So yes, we all want it, but the question I kept running into as I started thinking about a series about Classic Plus, what exactly is Classic Plus? No, really, I'm asking you, person watching this video, what is Classic Plus to you? Okay, think about your answer because we'll come back to you in a
So for me, I've made many videos covering this. I literally did a 2-hour video breaking down every single segment of Classic WoW. I was uploaded to my channel, and like I covered every single aspect and state and situation, from PvP to leveling to the dungeon situation to raiding to gearing to horizontal versus vertical progression to you know, the experience, the leveling speed, to quality of life features, to how they should add new zones, how they should expand on zones, how they should pick zones, how they should do things. And it's very difficult to say exactly what the community wants. The only thing everybody can truly agree on is we want more. We want more content. We want more zones and dungeons and raids. But nobody agrees on exactly how those things should work, how those things should look.
in a sec, but since this is my YouTube video, stay with me here. When I started asking myself that question, I ended up having many conversations with a very good friend of mine, Only.
Hey, I'm Only. I created the Hardcore All-Stars tournament where Blizzard announced official hardcore servers.
Yeah, I just want to own the server. That's what I want to do.
Nerd!
I met Jordy way back in unofficial hardcore WoW when he killed my priest in Strat UD. Thank you.
Shackle the gargoyle if it gets you.
Yeah, I will. The diamonds.
all the way behind this wall. We should LOS all the way behind the wall.
I'm netted. Yo, help me get out. I really need help.
Hey, we talk shit.
Healing.
Dude. Look, I still argue that wasn't my fault. So, Only and I kept talking about what we'd want to see in Classic Plus, but we kept bumping into a few issues. First, why should anyone care what one person thinks Classic Plus should be? Sure, we've got a bunch of ideas, we've got our non-negotiables and dreams for what this game could be, but we're not alone in that.
I wanted to be able to flesh out our ideas because talking about things and thinking about things is a good way to figure out what we actually want.
If they ever do Classic Plus, I would love to see them do it like in the spirit of Classic.
You know what I would like to see in Classic Plus?
Classic Plus.
Classic Plus.
Classic Plus.
Classic Plus.
There's no discussion about Classic Plus. I mean, there is, but like there's no real hub.
And Soda is right. There isn't. Old School RuneScape has this...
I've said this before as well, and I truly do agree with him, is that there is no Classic Plus hub. There is no content creators that cover Classic Plus. There is no main channels that cover Classic Plus. There's no streamers that cover Classic Plus. Classic Plus is secondary to all the other WoW right now because it's a hypothetical, a dream, an idea that exists but nobody truly believes or knows. And so I said that there needs to be more Classic Plus channels, but nobody really wants to talk about Classic Plus right now because there's no views in Classic Plus. It's a good discussion point, a good conversation starter, a good conversation piece on the side. But it's not something you can dedicate your whole stream and channel to because nobody really cares in the long run. You can only rehash Hyjal this, or raids this, or dungeons this, or zones this for so many times before people get sick and tired of it. But I love the idea of Classic Plus so much that I'm really thankful that Jordy made this this whole thing because it gives me more content, makes people more excited. I just want to talk about Classic Plus. All I want to do is discuss, talk, debate, and see Classic Plus. Because I believe for a fact Classic Plus is coming out in September at BlizzCon. Well, not coming out, being announced there. But I'm so excited for it, and I want there to be more hype and energy around it, but it's very hard to get people actually truly excited and hyped about something that is a theoretical. It's there, there's a lot of nods, a lot of winks, there's a lot of, hey guys, trust us, we're working on something, but there's no official proof of it. And it's hard to get people to be excited for something that is a hypothetical.
Great polling system. Jagex asks the community if they should do some new feature or make some new change, and the community votes on whether or not they want that thing to happen. But Blizzard isn't gonna do that. They're either too proud or too scared to offer up the reins of what Classic Plus might be to the community. But we care a lot about this game, and while the developers have their reasons for doing what they're doing, we wanted to take matters into our own hands and figure that out ourselves. What do we, as the community, think Classic Plus should be? So, we took the initiative and we made it happen. Introducing the entirely fan-made, with no input from Daddy B whatsoever, WoW Classic Plus, a place where we've gone through everything that we could think of to ask you, intrepid adventurer, what you want to see.
So right now you can head over to the website and start taking some surveys. An intro survey followed by a bunch of smaller ones covering every aspect of the game we could think of, from zones to PvP to raids and even itemization. Once you're done, you'll be able to see how your answers stacked up with the rest of the community.
And after that, we want to invite you to offer up your big ideas and pitches on the content pages. Now, each of these is built around creating a space for you to give your best ideas up to the community, where people can then vote up or down, and soon enough, the best ideas will be known. Now, speaking of best ideas, in my previous life, I wrote television. So narrative is super important to me to keep me grounded in the reason I'm doing something. And to me, Classic Plus doesn't really make any sense. Why would the game just change from what it...
And right there, what he said, Classic Plus doesn't make sense, is the biggest gripe that the community has with any kind of conversation. because everyone believes their idea of Classic Plus is better than somebody else's idea. SOD being an alpha beta for Classic Plus showcased the differing opinions. A lot of people have completely written off Classic Plus because they don't trust the Blizzard devs to make a good job because they made Season of Discovery. Across the board, Classic Plus is a project, a very long-term idealistic situation of a forever game mode that doesn't have more expansions, but has forever phases and patches, right? And sure, in 10 years, there'll be to be a gear squish, a stat squish, an item squish, something, right? But that is a problem for the future. People want like the 5-10 year plan to be good. And a lot of people don't believe in Blizzard because people's ideals and expectations are completely separate. We can look at this in Anniversary and Era. There are people that believe Era and Anniversary are abominations to the vanilla spirit. There are Era players who think because of the GDKPs, Anniversary is a fake shitty version. There are Anniversary players who think Era with the GDKPs is a terrible location. There are people that think the OG rank grind is terrible. There are people that think the new rank grind is terrible. Everyone disagrees to a standard situation of what is the perfect version of PvP, PvE, gearing, raiding, dungeons, class balancing. Some people believe that we shouldn't balance every class, so the classes are balanced around PvP and PvE separately, and if you balance things to be even, to make all classes viable for PvE, you get a SOD-like situation where PvP is completely and utterly unbalanced and a terrible and frustrating experience for a lot of players. So, with the Classic Plus discussion, the major point is there is a lot of loud voices, but not a consensus for the majority of the community. So I'm truly excited to see I'm not sure how many votes this website will get. I know there was another website that got maybe 20,000 votes total. I wonder if this website will get 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 votes, so we have a better idea of exactly where people are voting and how they're voting. But let's get on with the video and see what else he has to say.
Came to what we want to see. And then it hit me. Did you guys know that Doomlord Kazakh is actually the guy who opened the Dark Portal to Outland that enabled TBC? Now, imagine with me, if you will.
This is a custom cinematic. This isn't a real in-game cinematic. This man made a custom cinematic for his Classic Plus video. That's pretty peak.
I remember well the sting of defeat at the conclusion of the Third War. I have waited far too long for my revenge.
Yes, Skunky, Medivh opened the portal, but lore-wise, the TBC portal was opened not by Illidan, but by Doomlord Kazakh, who was loyal to the Legion. It's why Hellfire Peninsula is split with Illidan's controlled side and the Burning Legion controlled side. Because at the north of, in this context, Hellfire Peninsula, you have the Demon location and the Demon Summit and all that stuff. Same thing with Shadow Moon Valley. So, lore-wise, Doomlord Kazakh, or Cruel, I forget what the name was, opened the portal to TBC. Whereas in the original war, it was Medivh. This is a banger cinematic. I gotta give it to Jordy right here for actually making a full-blown custom cinematic for this situation. I know, I got you.
The shadow of the Legion falls over this world. It is only a matter of time until all of your failed creation is undone. Fire! Contemptible wretch! We'll conquer all!
I'm out of range.
Okay, so that's what I want to see.
That is unironically fucking peak. Jordy, I gotta give it to you. Phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal. I have nothing but kudos and love for this. This was actually incredibly well done. Genuinely an incredible animation. I've actually said this. I don't want the Dark Portal to open. I want Hellfire Peninsula to be the original Hellfire Peninsula, which is separate from TBC's Hellfire Peninsula. I want them to change the lore back to the OG lore, not the future lore. I want them to rewrite and redo history based on what the original intentions were. And I want the Dark Portal to be closed for 5, 10, 15 years of Classic Plus. They can open it eventually, but not at the beginning. We should not be getting TBC.
That explains why we're getting Classic Plus, at least narratively.
The Dark Portal is destroyed during Kazac's attempt to open it to Outland, changing the future of Azeroth forever. And right here, we've pitched everything that you just saw on the website. And for subsequent videos, the most upvoted or community favorite ideas that you, yes you, person watching this video, submit could be selected to be fully animated into something like you just saw, featured alongside a bunch of other content that people have pitched. And look, maybe you think this idea sucks, or you're a glorious red shirt guy and can explain in the lore why none of that Kazac idea makes any sense. So come tell us, up or downvote it. Then head over to the Discord where we built a place to house all of the discussion, and together we can figure this out. And to top it all off, as you interact with the website, your rank on the Discord goes up. Pretty cool.
So complete the surveys, check out and vote on other people's ideas to help filter out the good ideas from the bad, and maybe even pitch an idea of your own.
And to help get that process started, we've posted all our content ideas that you can react to and use as your starting point. From a whole phase schedule to new talent trees that keep classes unique while removing clunkiness. We'll talk about all of that soon, but for now, you can go to the website and check it all out.
Oh, and we translated the entire website to Chinese for them as well. They're gonna be playing this too, and their voice should be heard.
你们这群男鬼没尝过资方局的铁拳吗？还有那个运营反馈速度 ，Look my eyes，多向雷火学习。
Because let's face it,
I gotta give Jordy like absolute kudos. Phenomenal idea, well executed. The whole plan, the whole style, the whole decision making, giving power back to the community, giving people a voice, giving people a vote, creating custom feedback situations, a Discord where people can vote and rank up, a website where there's so many polls, an interactive map and location where you can upvote or downvote people. It's design, it's philosophy, the whole thing is genuinely absolutely top tier, and I have nothing but love for the design process and the way he's done things. This right here is absolute peak, and this right here is how it should be done. This right here is what the people want and what the people should be getting, and Blizzard should pay attention to things like this. I'm not saying they need to listen to somebody like me who's a Classic Plus creator, or they need to listen to Jordy directly, or any of the other individual creators like Zaru or people that have made a video or two about the topic. But the community's voice should be heard, and the community's voice should matter, and the community's voice should have impact. The community's voice should be understood.
Classic WoW isn't Blizzard's game anymore. It's ours. So let's act like it. Strap in, because we're about to find out what Classic Plus really means. Welcome to the Classic Plus project.
Haven't we done this before?
Before I see what he did here, I actually had an idea for what Classic Plus should be. You guys remember the OG trailer with Chromie coming up and Chromie going, you know, hitting the button, we went back in time? I want the trailer to continue exactly to the point where Chromie's about to hit the button, and before she hits it, I want her to pause and go, actually, you guys want to know something? Did you know that there's a completely different timeline where everything went completely different? Do you want to see that? And then she puts the red button away and grabs like a green or purple button and goes, let's see this one, and hits that button. And then we go through the portal where it goes back in time and then stops and then starts going forward. And we start seeing new zones, new NPCs, new raid bosses, new encounters, new characters. I think that would be a really sick animation overall.
Huh? Me not that kind of orc.
Video demonetized right there, Jordy. How could you put that cinematic in? How could you put that soundtrack in?
What?
Uldum talked about that. Hyjal. I actually have a full video coming out about Hyjal, talking about the original Hyjal timeline. Well, it was trying to stop the resurrection of Archimonde. It's like a 45-minute video of me discussing and breaking down the story and theory crafting NPCs, characters. So Jordy is 100% correct on this alternate timeline, these old locations, coming back with the original storyline. Like, I can't wait to start covering every zone, every dungeon, every raid, and breaking down the original plans. Grim Batol, the old zones, Isle of Dr. Lapidus, Isle of, you know, for example, Talabim, and all these other locations. Wolf Shaman. Undead Alley of Priest. Blood Elves. Going to the Ghostland. Silvermoon City. Gilneas right here. All of these phenomenal ideas, things that need to happen, things that actually need to be there, need to be discussed, and need to be explored. Those classic WoW, vanilla WoW, has enough content for a minimum of 10 years of content. At a minimum, 10, 15 years of content. Before they run out. Keep in mind, TBC, Wrath, Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria, let me see what else. Shadowlands, BFA, the Dragon Isles. Heck, even the War Within. A lot of these things that were designed in vanilla. So much of the future of WoW was built in vanilla. They finished vanilla WoW storyline and content. Took them 20 years.
I don't think so.
Phenomenal production value. There'll be a link to this video in the description down below. Typically this would be a second channel video, but I'm going to put it on the main channel because I am going to go over the survey and go into full depth and fully explore and discuss and break everything down. This is, in my opinion, peak design, peak animation. My videos aren't this quality, mind you, but like the whole thing is absolutely insane, and I can't wait to cover this in in-depth detail because this is what classic World of Warcraft needs. We need Classic Plus with a community vote where Blizzard doesn't have to take the vote at face value, but they should acknowledge the community's voice. They should acknowledge the community's opinion. They should acknowledge the things we want, I said that twice, the things we desire and the things we think we want, and discuss with us. Tell us why that would work, why that wouldn't work, why they could add that, why they couldn't add that, why this could be implemented, why this couldn't be implemented. They need to truly allow people to give their opinion, take it at face value, and go from there. Because right now, the community's opinion doesn't matter at all because they don't listen to us. And to a degree, I get it. Agron got off Twitter because of the amount of death threats he got. He was our biggest line of communication, and a lot of the people drove him off. So for Classic Plus, I hope they come back and start listening to people, acknowledging conversation and community, and letting people share their opinions and their votes on topics and things, because I truly believe Classic Plus is the future, and it is the future that will define and truly change what World of Warcraft looks like. I don't think retail WoW is going to be like WoW 2.0 is going to be bigger than Classic Plus. I know that's major cope on my part as a Classic Plus creator, but I think Classic Plus is going to be ginormous, and Blizzard needs to acknowledge that the community has a voice and an opinion that should be acknowledged. So Jordy, absolutely phenomenal video. I fucking love this, and I can't wait to provide more and more Classic Plus content to everybody, and I hope Jordy inspires other creators to make more Classic Plus content as well. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, this reaction, like and subscribe. If you hated it, understandable. Dislike and unsubscribe, or dislike and subscribe and leave a positive, incredibly unique and creative hate comment. Thank you all. Ebenhard out. Peace.